Hello everyone, welcome to Erudite Political. My name is Udbasra Sheikh and in this video lecture we will be covering the fourth unit of our UGC NET JRF paper first, that is communication. So communication unit में there are four subtopics. These are communication, its meaning, types and characteristic. Then the second topic is effective communication, which includes verbal, non-verbal, group and classroom communication. Then the third topic is barriers to effective communication, and the fourth topic is mass media and society. We will be covering the entire unit, and if you find anything useful to take away from this video, then please do subscribe to our channel. So basically this unit is a moderate unit. It's neither too lengthy nor too small to cover, and by having a clear cut conceptual understanding you can easily attempt the correct answer for the questions that are being asked in your NET examination. So now let's begin with the session. See, so basically let's understand the meaning of communication. Now what is communication? So basically इसका meaning समझने के लिए I would like to ask a question from you, that is whether you dream, do you talk with someone, do you argue in a discussion, do you speak in public, do you read newspapers or magazines or your favorite book, do you watch TV program, or do you watch several YouTube videos? If yes, then basically this is all different kind of communication that we are engaged in every day. Therefore, it means that we are constantly exchanging our thoughts, ideas and motions with someone or other, either to satisfy our physical, emotional or other needs or to get our work done. Therefore, it is clear that communication is an integral part of one's life and a society cannot survive in the absence of communication. Further, there are numerous definitions of communication and there is yet no agreement on any single definition. So basically ये जो communication का process है, इसमें हम information को exchange करते हैं between individuals or even between groups through a common use of system of symbols, signs or behaviors. Further, this word communication is derived from two Latin words, that is communis and communicare. So communis means common or mutual understanding and communicare means to share. See, understand that for communication there are three main components, and these three main components are sender, receiver and a channel through which information is transferred. Now further talking about the characteristic of communication. So देखिए सबसे पहले characteristic communication की है that it involves at least two persons. You know, communication involves two persons. Then the second thing is that there should be a message. So a message is must. Then communication may be written, oral or gestural. मतलब it is not necessary कि communicate करने के लिए हमें कोई चीज़ लिख के बतानी हो या कोई चीज़ बोल के बतानी हो. There is also non-verbal methods of communicating, that is by using behaviors and physical gestures. Then another characteristic is that communication is a two-way process. So once a message is being conveyed, then also there is a system for feedback, and if the receiver sends the feedback to the sender of the message, then the process of communication is said to be completed. Now let's also discuss about the communication process. So देखिए communication process is in the pattern like this. Firstly, there have to be a sender, that is the source of communication, right? उसके बाद जो sender है वो अपना message encode करता है, that means that converting the idea into meaningful information. अब वो जो आइडिया है उसे मीनिंगफुल इंफॉर्मेशन में कन्वर्ट कर दिया है, दैट इज अ मैसेज. इस मैसेज का जो पाथ है दैट इज कॉल्ड चैनल. ये चैनल जो हो सकता है ये रिटन, ओरल, नॉन वर्बल, also in the form of in today's world in the form of WhatsApp, Facebook, everything, anything. Then after the channel has been decided, then the message is received by the receiver, and then the receiver decode that message that has been received, and then he sends the feedback. Talking about the feedback, so basically feedback is response and the final step of communication. It is important to keep in mind this pattern, that is sender, encode, message, channel, receiver, decode and feedback. ज़्यादातर लोग कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं कि डिकोड पहले आएगा या रिसीवर. सो बेसिकली यू ऑलवेज कीप इन माइंड कि रिसीवर पहले आएगा, क्योंकि जब तक चैनल से मैसेज को कोई रिसीव नहीं करेगा तो वो उस मैसेज को डिकोड कोई कैसे करेगा. सो ऑब्वियसली रिसीवर कम्स फर्स्ट, देन कम्स द डिकोडिंग पार्ट. Now moving ahead, we will be discussing about the functions of communication. So basically, being at the heart of all social action and interaction, communication functions as a relating tool that creates understanding, facilitates work, and strengthens collective living among people. So there are various functions of communication. Now let's discuss them one by one. So the first function of communication is information. So इसे इस एग्जाम्पल के थ्रू समझते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, नाउ इन अ करेंट सिचुएशन देयर इज पैंडेमिक गोइंग थ्रू, राइट. वी आर गोइंग थ्रू अ पैंडेमिक. नाउ अगर हम इस पैंडेमिक के कॉजेज, सिम्टम्स, इसको कैसे रिकवर करना है, क्या क्या हमें प्रिकॉशंस लेने हैं, इस चीज़ के बारे में इन्फॉर्म नहीं होंगे, सो हमें इसके रिपरकशंस झेलने पड़ेंगे, राइट. And in today's time, it is considered that information is now regarded as a power, you know. So जितने ज़्यादा आप इन्फॉर्म्ड होंगे उतना ज़्यादा आप अपने आप को प्रोटेक्ट कर पाएंगे. सो इन करंट सिचुएशन अगर कोविड है, और अगर आप कोविड के बारे में जितना ज़्यादा इन्फॉर्म्ड होंगे, कहाँ से वो फैल सकता है, क्या क्या प्रिकॉशंस लेने हैं, उतने ही ज़्यादा पावरफुल भी होंगे. So those who have access to information can take advantage of it in their own interest, right? Therefore, communication provides us enormous information about the environment in which we live, and information such as news of, war, danger, crisis, famine, or all the mishappenings that are taking place are important, because for that it helps us in taking appropriate steps to safeguard our interest. Now, the second function is instruction. So it is one of the major function of communication, that is to instruct, or you can say basically to educate or socialize the members of the society. So basically ये जो functions है, these start early in life at home or in school, and it continue till one completes the full cycle of life. So basically communication provides a fund of knowledge and expertise and skills that enable people to operate as effective members of society, and it also creates awareness, gives direction and opportunity to people so that they actively participate in public life. Now the third function of communication is entertainment. See, we as being human beings, and we must be entertained to break the monotony of the routine and divert their attention from the troubles and tensions of the daily life. So the diversion should not be taken as a negative element here, right? And such diversion has a positive role in our life, and it revitalizes our personality and even educates us. Therefore, communication provides boundless entertainment to people through picture, films, music, drama, dance, art, literature, comedy, sports, game, etc. Now the next function is persuasion. So one of the most important functions of the communication is to persuade the other party, Now why it is so? See, because persuasion helps in reaching the decision or consensus on public policy so that it is possible to control and govern. Now what happens is that receiver in this case must be careful about the source of such persuasion. Now the next function of communication is to debate and discussion. So basically it is through debate and discussion in media that the public can clarify different viewpoints on issues of public interest and arrive at a general agreement on matters that concern all of us. And this is a critical appraisal of debates and discussions benefit the users. So this is also one of the most important functions of communication. Now the another function is cultural promotion. So communication provides opportunity for culture to be preserved and promoted, and it at the same time stimulates individuals to pursue and fulfill their creative urges. Now the next function is integration. So communication is a great integrating tool. Through a fund of knowledge and information of individual groups and cultures come to know one another and understand and appreciate other ways of life, and thereby develop tolerance towards one another. Here we will be discussing about types of communication, types of effective communication. सो कम्युनिकेशन का जो टाइप्स है ना वो दो टाइप्स में डिवाइडेड है. फर्स्टली दैट इज ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द कम्युनिकेशन चैनल एंड देन द सेकेंड वन इज ऑन द टाइप्स ऑफ हाउ मच पीपल आर इन्वॉल्व इन दैट process of communication. So when we talk about on the basis of the channel that is used in a communication process, so उसके basis पे communication दो type में broadly divided है. That is verbal communication and non-verbal communication. So firstly, let's discuss about verbal communication. So verbal communication is a type of communication in which words are being used in the communication process and also to design and formulate the messages. और verbal communication का जो एक criteria होता है that is stood by the acronym KISS, that is keep it short and simple. So further, verbal communication takes place when one is engaged in speaking with others, right? Now further, verbal communication is divided into two following types. These are oral communication and written communication. So when we talk about oral communication, so oral communication में spoken words का use होता है and it is influenced by pitch, volume, rate of speaking and clarity in speaking and articulation. Further, verbal communication includes conversation that took place face to face with another person and speech, telephonic conversation, video, radio, television and voiceover on the internet. These all are the example of verbal oral communication. Now the second type of verbal communication is written communication. So written communication में जो message होता है उसे हम transfer करते हैं by writing, that is by written signs using symbols, both in the printed as well as in the handwritten form are used. Now also in this written communication जो message होता है that can be transmitted via mail, letter, report, memo, etc. और written communication के type में जो communicator होता है ना उसकी writing skills, उसके style, उसकी knowledge of grammar बहुत affect करती है जो भी quality of message होता है. Further, written communication is most commonly used in communication in a business organization क्योंकि इसमें जो messages होते हैं that can be transmitted via email, letter, report, memo, etc. Now the next type is non-verbal communication. So non-verbal communication is a communication process जिसमें message को send और receive किया जाता है but ये जो message होता है ये wordless होता है. इसमें there is no use of words. Therefore you must have heard the famous quote that is action speaks louder than voice. So this is really apt for non-verbal communication. So basically non-verbal communication जो है that is all about the body language, body postures, body gestures of the speaker and it does not make the use of words. That is why it is called non-verbal communication. Now it includes facial expressions, postures and eye contact, hand movements that we make while communicating. So all these are useful in non-verbal communication. And these all helps in the receiver and these all helps the receiver in better interpretation of a message. So non-verbal communication की तीन main element होते हैं that is the appearance. So it includes both the speaker and the surrounding. Then the second is the body language and the third is sounds. So when we talk about body language, so body language includes facial expressions, body gestures and postures. When we talk about sounds, so it includes voice tone, pitch, volume and the speed and the rate of the speech. Now further, after discussing about the verbal and non-verbal communication, so communication takes place at different levels and accordingly we speak of different types of communication. So जितने persons involved होते हैं उस basis पे भी communication को divide किया जाता है. So the first type on this basis is intrapersonal communication. So देखिए, when communication takes place with oneself, जब हम अपने आप से communicate करते हैं, that is called intrapersonal communication. So intrapersonal communication में सिर्फ एक person का involvement होता है, that is our own self. That is why it is called intrapersonal, right? Now when we talk about intrapersonal communication, so it includes individual reflections and like meditating when we are meditating, when we are talking to ourselves when we are praying to God. So these are all examples of intrapersonal communication, and it can take place at any time as there is no need of any receiver. Now moving towards the next communication type, that is interpersonal communication. So interpersonal communication में there has to be minimum of two members. There has to be a sender and there has to be receiver, and there has to be two person at least. So interpersonal communication takes place between two persons, and this types of communication may includes like dialogues and conversation and exchange of views, ideas, information between two persons. It is very direct, intimate and consist of verbal interaction and gestures. एंड इंटरपर्सनल कम्युनिकेशन एक बहुत ही इफेक्टिव कम्युनिकेशन सिचुएशन होती है, बिकॉज इसमें आपको फीडबैक मिलता है, दैट इज इमीडिएट फीडबैक, एंड इट हैज अ इमोशनल अपील टू, and it can motivate, encourage and coordinate work more effectively. So primarily interaction between two friends, between a teacher or a student, between a mother and a child, all these are example of interpersonal communication. But now as technology has been introduced, so talking on telephone to someone is yet another example of interpersonal communication at a distance. Now the next example is group communication. So when we talk of group communication, so group communication takes place among group. So basically a group communication is a type of communication जिसमें जो members होते हैं एक group के, these people interact with each other. So basically a group is a collectivity of people who have common interest and goals. So like discussions in a workshop or a seminar or a family are an example of a group communication. जो ग्रुप कम्युनिकेशन होता है दैट इज यूज टू टेक कलेक्टिव डिसीजंस ऑन अ प्रॉब्लम और एन इश्यू और अ मैटर ऑफ कॉमन कंसर्न. और जो पार्टिसिपेशन इन्वॉल्व होता है ग्रुप कम्युनिकेशन में, दैट टेक्स एक्टिव पार्ट इन कम्युनिकेशन टू अचीव अ सेट ऑफ गोल्स, टू डेवलप और टू फाइंड द सोल्यूशन टू अ प्रॉब्लम दैट इज फेस्ड बाय दैट पर्टिकुलर ग्रुप. So this diagram shows the representation of a ग्रुप कम्युनिकेशन. अच्छा, ग्रुप कम्युनिकेशन में ये होता है कि जो नंबर ऑफ रिसीवर्स हैं वो बढ़ जाते हैं, बट व्हेन द नंबर ऑफ रिसीवर्स इंक्रीज, जो पार्टिसिपेशन होता है, जो इंटीमेसी होती है, दिस समवॉट डिक्रीजेस. सो एज द ग्रुप बिकम्स लार्जर, द इंटीमेसी, द पार्टिसिपेशन ऑन द पार्ट ऑफ द रिसीवर्स बिकम लेसर. फर्दर ग्रुप कम्युनिकेशन को भी दो टाइप में डिवाइड कर सकते हैं, दैट कुड बी इंट्रा ग्रुप कम्युनिकेशन एंड द अनदर इज इंटर ग्रुप कम्युनिकेशन. So when we talk about intra-group communication, so it is a form of group communication that takes place between the members of the same group. And then when we talk about inter-group communication, so इसमें दो या दो से ज़्यादा different groups involve होते हैं. That communication takes place between two or more groups, and it can also be between members of different groups. So this is called intergroup communication. Now the next type of communication is mass communication. So when we talk about mass communication, so mass communication जो involve करता है ना, that is more than two number of people, and it is beyond a group, and it is beyond a organizational communication. So देखिए, as the term mass indicates, this type of communication includes ideas, thoughts, etc. that is communicated to a large number of people using mass media. So in mass communication, we include face-to-face as well as printed and non-printed communication. For example, the radio, television programs are broadcast to educate, to inform or to entertain a large number of people. So mass communication की तीन basic characteristics होती हैं, जो होती है firstly जो ऑडियंस होती है वो बहुत लार्ज होती है और हेट्रोजेनस होती है. सेकेंडली जो सोर्स होता है, दैट इज एन इंस्टीट्यूशन और अ ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल. For example, the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting of Government of India, so that is engaged in broadcasting televisions and radio programs all over the country, right? And the third characteristic is some kind of mechanism is used to reproduce the information. So the mechanism could be, the printing press, the program's production studio, the television and the radio receivers, the internet, and nowadays social media. So all these are the examples of the type of mass communication. So these were all the types of effective communication that we discussed in this video. Now in this session we will be discussing about barriers to effective communication. So communication क्या है वो तो हमने पहली वीडियो में डिस्कस कर लिया है, बट स्टिल आई वांट टू गिव एन इंट्रोडक्शन. सो बेसिकली कम्युनिकेशन एक प्रोसेस है. बेसिकली हमें डिस्कस करना चाहिए व्हाट इज इफेक्टिव कम्युनिकेशन. सो देखिए इफेक्टिव कम्युनिकेशन जो है वो एक प्रोसेस है जिसमें हम यूजुअली आइडियाज, थॉट्स, नॉलेज एंड इंफॉर्मेशन को एक्सचेंज करते हैं, बट इन अ वे दैट द पर्पस or intention is fulfilled in the best possible manner. So basically in simple words, it is nothing but the presentation of views by the sender in a way that is best understood by the receiver. So now let's start with discussing barriers to effective communication. So the first barrier is language barrier. देखिए language and linguistic ability can act as a barrier to communication. And also apart from having different languages barrier, because देखिए अगर आप हिंदी में किसी से कम्युनिकेट कर रहे हैं और उसको हिंदी लैंग्वेज ही नहीं आती, सो द कम्युनिकेशन विल नॉट बी सक्सेसफुल, बिकॉज जो आप बोलना चाह रहे हो वो रिसीवर रिसीव ही नहीं कर पा रहा क्योंकि वो कॉमन लैंग्वेज नहीं है. फर्स्ट थिंग इज दिस. सेकेंडली इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी कि आप दोनों की लैंग्वेज सेम है तो लैंग्वेज बैरियर नहीं होगा, ऐसा नहीं है. बिकॉज फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई टॉक इन इंग्लिश and then I go to a doctor and he or she also talks to me in English, right? We are able to understand the same language, that is English. But वो जो डॉक्टर है वो कुछ ऐसी टर्मिनोलॉजीज यूज कर देता है जो सिर्फ एक डॉक्टर के प्रोफेशन में जो लोग हैं उन्हें समझ में आती है. सो दैट इज नॉट वेरी इजीली understood by me as a patient, right? Because I'm not that into profession. So sometimes terminologies also act as a barrier, no matter if the language is same. Then talking about the next barrier, that is psychological barrier. So basically psychological barrier is the psychological state of the receiver that will influence that how the message is received. देखिए for example अगर कोई person अपनी खुद की दिक्कतों में है या he or she is stressed, then they may be preoccupied by their own personal concerns and thoughts. So at that time अगर आप उनसे कुछ communicate कर रहे हो, उनका state of mind वो है ही नहीं कि वो किसी चीज को receive कर पाए. So therefore psychological state also act as a barrier to effective communication. Now the next barrier is physiological barriers. So physiological barriers may result from the receiver's physical state. For example, a receiver with reduced hearing may not grasp the entirely of a spoken conversation, especially if there is a significant background noise. So physical barriers का example होगा geographic distance that is between the sender and the receiver. But nowadays technology is so advanced and modern technology often serves to reduce the impact of physical barriers. Now the next barrier is attitudinal barrier. So basically attitudinal barriers are behaviors and the perceptions of a person that prevent people from communicating effectively to them. For example, the attitudinal barriers to communication may result from personality conflicts, or poor management and resistance to change and having a predefined notions or a prejudice against a thing. For example, if you already have a prejudice about something and you have already preoccupied thoughts on that topics and you're not ready to change that stereotype, so at that time if another person is putting up their point of view, so maybe because of your rigid behavior communication process could not be completed, and what the sender wants to tell you won't be receiving that. So that is an example of a attitudinal barrier. Now the next barrier is systematic barriers. So systematic barriers to communication may exist in structures and organization जहाँ पे they are insufficient or you can say inappropriate information system. Now the next barrier is cultural barrier. So as the world is getting more and more universal, globalized, what we can say, any large office may have people from several parts of the world, right? एक office में there is not necessary now that the workers in the office is homogeneous. They can be heterogeneous. By saying heterogeneous, they can be from different cultures, from different places of the world, and also their basic value of society would be different. So therefore we must take these different cultures into account while communicating, and this is what we call being culturally appropriate. Then the next barrier is perceptual barrier. So different persons have different agendas, So obviously different persons have different opinions and different perspective towards life and different issues. People perceive, so each person perceive the same things differently, and this is a fact that we must consider during communicating, right? So knowledge of the perception levels of the audience is crucial to effective communication. Now another barrier is technological barrier. So other barriers include the technological barriers, and the technology is developing so fast, and as a result it becomes difficult to keep up with the newest developments. Hence sometimes the technologically advanced may become a barrier. For example, for the person who is not keeping up with that technology. And in addition to this, sometimes also the cost of technology is very high. So therefore all these act as barriers to effective communication. So now let's also discuss some of the ways जिससे हम ये barriers को overcome कर सकते हैं और एक effective communication को establish कर सकते हैं. So these are as follows. Firstly, by eliminating differences in perception. Then we can make use of simple language and reduction and elimination of noise levels, because noise also do act as a barrier to effective communication. By listening actively, so we should listen actively and carefully. And also when we talk about organizational communication, so the structure of the organization should be simple. Then also avoid information overload, and we should also give constructive feedback that also helps to build up the effective communication between the superior and the subordinate, and sometimes between the equals. Then also we must be very particular about selection of media. So proper media selection also helps us in a effective communication process. And also by understanding that what your audience needs, so understand the needs of your audience, that will lead to effective communication. So yes, so in this we discussed all the barriers to effective communication and also how to overcome these barriers. So I hope this video was useful, and if you are taking at least one thing useful from this video, then please do subscribe, like, share and comment, and share this channel with whomsoever you find it would be helpful or relevant. And thank you, and keep watching and stay tuned for the more upcoming videos. Thank you. मास मीडिया एंड सोसाइटी. मास मीडिया एंड सोसाइटी आपके यूजीसी नेट जेआरएफ पेपर फर्स्ट के 4 यूनिट दैट इज द कम्युनिकेशन का लास्ट टॉपिक है. कम्युनिकेशन यूनिट में 4 सब टॉपिक्स डिवाइडेड हैं, दैट इज कम्युनिकेशन मीनिंग, टाइप्स एंड कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स. सेकेंड इज इफेक्टिव कम्युनिकेशन, जिसमें आते हैं वेरियस टाइप्स ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन दैट इंक्लूड्स वर्बल, नॉन वर्बल, इंट्रापर्सनल, इंटरपर्सनल, इंटरकल्चरल, क्लासरूम कम्युनिकेशन एंड ग्रुप कम्युनिकेशन. Third is barriers to effective communication, and fourth one is mass media and society. So basically हम लोगों ने फर्स्ट, सेकेंड एंड थर्ड टॉपिक ऑलरेडी कवर कर लिया है. So ये हमारा लास्ट टॉपिक बचा हुआ था कम्युनिकेशन यूनिट का, आज हम इसे भी कवर कर लेंगे और इसी के साथ हमारा पूरा यूनिट कम्युनिकेशन पेपर फर्स्ट का कवर हो जाएगा. So now let's begin with this topic. देखिए, मास मीडिया एंड सोसाइटी में आपको सबसे पहले अंडरस्टैंड करना है कि व्हाट इज सोसाइटी, what is mass media, and what is the relationship that is between the mass media and society. So mass media refers to the channel of communication through which information is disseminated in the society. देखिए, हर सोसाइटी का एक जो बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट एसेंस होता है दैट इज सोशल इंट्रैक्शंस, और ये सोशल इंट्रैक्शन होता है कम्युनिकेशन के थ्रू. Therefore the role of media is very important. So talking about a society, so a society can be defined as a community of people that are living in a particular region and having shared customs, laws and organizations. Now the society can be homogeneous or heterogeneous. So by homogeneous I mean ऐसी society जहाँ पे people share similar values, language, religious framework and ethnicity. And examples of such societies are the Japanese and the Chinese one. Now when we talk about heterogeneous society, so it is meant where there will be a diversity in people in terms of race, culture, religions, etc. और इस टाइप की सोसाइटी का जो सही एग्जाम्पल है दैट इज यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका वेयर वन फाइंड्स पीपल फ्रॉम डिफरेंट रेसेस, एग्जाम्पल white, Asians, African Americans, etc. Now communication is the basic link among various parts in a society that connects them, right? So with the coming of mass media, one finds the society's reflection in news and entertainment programs. Further, the relationship between the media and society is symbiotic. So, society's survival and growth depends on a number of factors, among which a system of communication is crucial, as people in a society gets information, education and entertainment through communication that is being conducted by mass media. See, mass media basically refers to the process of disseminating and exchanging information through diverse media platforms to reach the masses. See, media, plays a very significant role as it acts as a platform that facilitates the information flows between the citizens and the state. And it is the media that has to continuously update the citizens, with all the relevant informations and the incidents that are happening. And the role of media is also important in a society because in today's time, media is considered as the fourth pillar of democratic society after the executive, legislature and judiciary. And there is no denying the fact that it has become one of the major instruments of social change. Further, media is playing a vital role in shaping human minds as it keeps us informed and aware of various activities, and in particular it plays a crucial role in shaping the public minds as it empowers the citizens by information and also helps in nation building in general. Now let's discuss about the elements of mass media. So when we talk about the elements of mass media, so it has 5 important elements. These are the large audience, fairly undifferentiated audience composition, some form of message reproduction, rapid distribution and delivery, and the low cost to the consumers. So when we talk about large audience, so जो mass media के through एक message convey होता है वो बहुत ही heterogeneous और बहुत ही large audience को जाता है. That is why this term is used, that is mass media. So बहुत ज़्यादा large audience को cover करता है ये चीज़. Now the second one is that fairly undifferentiated audience composition. So basically इसमें कोई particularly oriented audience नहीं होती है. Audience बहुत undifferentiated होती है, वो different background से आ सकती है और उनका point of view बहुत different हो सकता है एक message को लेने का. So therefore जो भी audience होती है वो बहुत undifferentiated होती है. That is not very homogeneous but heterogeneous at the same time. Now the third one is that some form of message reproduction. So obviously when the people, or we can say the citizens, are informed or educated or entertained, then there is some sort of message that is being transmitted, right, from mass media. Now the fourth one is rapid distribution and delivery. So जो मीडिया का जो मैसेज होता है ना, जो मास मीडिया से जो इंफॉर्मेशन मिलती है लोगों को, वो बहुत ही रैपिड होती है. Then the fifth one is that is the low cost to the consumer. So obviously when we talk about mass media and especially in today's time जहाँ इतनी technological advancement आ चुकी हैं, so it's very cost effective. Now talking about the characteristics of mass media, so that is जो मैसेज होता है वो बहुत डायरेक्ट होता है. That is direct messages towards the relatively as discussed earlier large heterogeneous and anonymous audience. You don't know कि वो मैसेज जो आप मास मीडिया के थ्रू कन्वे कर रहे हो वो कहाँ तक जा रहा है, उसकी कोई टारगेटेड ऑडियंस नहीं होती, बहुत ही heterogeneous ऑडियंस होती है. The second one is that message are transmitted publicly and there is no privacy. So when we talk about mass media, so obviously there is no privacy. And जो भी message जा रहा है, जो भी information pass हो रही है, that is to public, that is to the mass. So there is no privacy. You can't expect any privacy in that. Now जो message का duration होता है वो बहुत short होता है, for immediate consumption होता है. और जो भी feedback आता है ना mass media के through, वो डायरेक्ट नहीं होता, वो बहुत ही इनडायरेक्ट होता है और समटाइम्स इतना डिले हो जाता है कि वो मैटर भी नहीं करता. नाउ द नेक्स्ट इज दैट कॉस्ट पर एक्सपोजर पर इंडिविजुअल इज मिनिमम एंड ऑल्सो द सोर्स दैट बिलोंग्स टू ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस और इंस्टीट्यूशन. सो जो भी सोर्स होगा मास मीडिया का वो जरूर एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन होता है उसके पीछे या फिर एक इंस्टीट्यूशन होता है. And mostly this type of communication that took place by the mass media is only one way. There is no feedback as discussed earlier, so it is mostly one way. There is not a two-way conversation. Now let's discuss about the types of mass media. So mass media can be classified according to their physical form and the technology involved and the nature of the communication process. So generally mass media को various types में divide किया जाता है. The first one is traditional media. देखिए ट्रेडिशनल मीडिया में आ जाएगा जो आर्ट फॉर्म्स होते हैं, जो फोक आर्ट्स होती हैं, दैट कंबाइंस सेवरल आर्ट्स लाइक डांस, म्यूजिक, सॉन्ग्स एंड थिएटर टू अट्रैक्ट द ऑडियंसेस. Now the performance are very spontaneous and most often made on the spot. Now the next type is print media. Now print media served as the major means of communication reaching a wide audience, and it is in the forms of newspapers, magazines, periodicals, books, etc. Now the another type of media is electronic media. So electronic media is another type of mass media and इसमें include होगा और इसमें इंक्लूड हो जाएगा जितना भी फिल्म्स होती हैं, टेलीविजन प्रोग्राम्स होते हैं, रेडियो होता है, ये सब आपका इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया में आएगा. नाउ द नेक्स्ट टाइप इज न्यू मीडिया एंड सोशल मीडिया एंड अदर्स. सो इसमें आएगा जितने भी अब जो चल रहा है, दैट इज इंटरनेट and the World Wide Web opened up several new avenues for mass communication, which includes email, websites, podcast, ebooks, blogging, and like social networking sites like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and everything. All this, so all these millennial things, come in the new media. Now these kinds of online and digital means of producing and transmitting and receiving of messages are called new media. So now this was all the important and relevant information regarding the topic mass media and society, and this was all for today's video. I hope that you like our video, and if you do and if you find this video helpful or relevant, then please do subscribe to our channel and recommend this channel to whomsoever you find it would be helpful or relevant. Thank you.